The drama just keeps getting hotter in the world of love and hip-hop, and this time, it's Rasheeda who is making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Fans are absolutely shocked after Rasheeda drops a bombshell claim that has everyone talking. During a live broadcast, she stunned viewers when she boldly claimed that she spent the night with none other than Mendeecees, a man who's been at the center of countless relationship dramas with his wife, Yandy. Could this be the ultimate betrayal? Or is Rasheeda just stirring the pot to cause chaos among the already strained relationships? As the rumor spreads like wildfire, emotions ran high in the love and hip-hop universe. Yandy, completely blindsided by the shocking revelation, is furious and demands answers from Mendeecees, who seems to be caught in the middle of a love triangle that no one saw coming. And that's not all. Fans are divided on social media, with some standing by Rasheeda and others condemning her for allegedly trying to destroy a family. What's the truth? Who's telling lies? This is the kind of scandalous drama that keeps viewers glued to their screens, and it's only just beginning. Stay tuned as we dive into this explosive story. The love and hip-hop universe is no stranger to drama, but what happened when Rasheeda claimed she spent the night with Mendeecees is something no one saw coming. Fans were left absolutely stunned after she casually dropped this shocking revelation during a live session. It was one of those moments that immediately got people talking and sparked endless debates. The drama was already high between Mendeecees and Yandy, but now, with Rasheeda's claim hanging in the air, the tension was almost unbearable. It all began innocently enough. Rasheeda was hosting a live stream, interacting with her fans as she often does. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, but then, the words that slipped from her lips stopped everything in its tracks. "Yeah, I spent the night with Mendeecees," she said matter-of-factly, as though it was just another detail in her ever-dramatic life. But this wasn't just another passing comment. It was a declaration that set the entire internet on fire. The impact was immediate. Social media exploded, fans were in shock, and their reactions ranged from disbelief to outrage. Some couldn't believe it. Others thought it was a setup for drama, but all agreed on one thing. This was big. This was a massive claim. And with Mendeecees already caught in the middle of a marriage on the rocks with Yandy, things were about to get even more complicated. What Rasheeda said on that live stream didn't just spark gossip. It ignited a firestorm. Fans quickly began dissecting her words, picking apart every syllable. Was she lying? Was this a publicity stunt? Or was there some truth to what she said? The truth was, nobody knew for sure. But the possibility of it being true was more than enough to set the stage for one of the biggest scandals to hit the love and hip-hop franchise. Mendeecees, who had been relatively quiet about the growing drama, finally broke his silence after the news spread like wildfire. Fans eagerly awaited his response, as he had been the subject of much speculation. His marriage to Yandy had been rocky for some time, and now, with Rasheeda's shocking claim, everything was being thrown into chaos. Would he deny it outright, or would he confirm the rumors? The suspense was palpable. Instead of a direct denial or confirmation, Mendeecees chose to post something cryptic. "People love to start drama," he wrote, "but the truth always comes out." Those words only added more fuel to the already blazing fire. Fans were left wondering, was he admitting to it? Was there some truth behind Rasheeda's bombshell? Or was this just his way of deflecting the pressure? His vague response only deepened the mystery, leaving fans even more desperate for answers. Meanwhile, Yandy was absolutely blindsided. She had been dealing with her own struggles in the public eye, but this was on a whole new level. Yandy, who was known for her composed demeanor, couldn't hide her frustration. Her phone was blowing up, and messages were flooding in from all directions. She was in shock, and anyone could see that. When she finally went live to address the situation, her emotions were all over the place. Her face was a mix of anger, confusion, and hurt. "I don't know what's going on, but I'll find out the truth," she said, her voice cracking. It was clear she didn't know whether to believe Mendeecees or Rasheeda, but what was undeniable was that she was hurt. Hurt by the possibility that her husband could be involved in something so damaging. Fans of Yandy quickly came to her defense. They rallied around her, calling Rasheeda a liar and demanding that Mendeecees step up and clear things up. Some even suggested that Rasheeda was just looking for attention, trying to get more screen time for herself. The hate directed toward Rasheeda was palpable, but at the same time, there were others who were questioning Mendeecees' silence. How could he just stay quiet in the face of such serious allegations? It wasn't long before the situation took a darker turn. More rumors began to swirl. Whispers of hidden messages, secret meetings, and even video footage began circulating online. Some claimed that Rasheeda had proof to back up her story, though no one knew for sure what that proof was. Some fans believed she had a recording of Mendeecees admitting to their night together, while others thought she had text messages or photos. Whatever the evidence was, it had to be something substantial for Rasheeda to make such a bold claim. As the days went by, the tension grew. Yandy, now in full damage control mode, began reaching out to close friends and family to try and get to the bottom of the situation. She was desperate for answers and couldn't understand why Mendeecees wasn't being more forthcoming. The longer he stayed silent, the more questions were raised. Was he hiding something? Was there more to the story that hadn't been revealed yet? Meanwhile, Rasheeda played the role of the provocateur. She knew what she had done, and she knew the drama she had stirred up. She wasn't backing down, and she was enjoying every moment of the chaos she had caused. If they want the truth, they'll get it, she posted on social media, further fueling the speculation. With every new post, she kept the public's attention on her, making it clear that she was in control of the narrative. The Love and Hip Hop cast, normally accustomed to drama, was now watching this situation unfold from the sidelines. Some members chose to stay silent, while others couldn't resist commenting on the growing mess. There was one thing everyone seemed to agree on, though this was no ordinary scandal. This wasn't just another fight between cast members. This was a bombshell that had the potential to tear apart families and relationships. It was personal, and it was playing out in real time for everyone to see. As the pressure mounted on Mendeecees, he finally broke his silence again. This time, however, his response was even more cryptic than before. "The truth will always come to light," he wrote, leaving fans to interpret the message however they wanted. Was he admitting to something? Was he trying to cover up the truth? The ambiguity of his message left fans more divided than ever. Now, with the entire world watching, the stakes were higher than ever. Mendeecees and Yandy's relationship was in jeopardy, and Rasheeda had thrown a huge wrench into the equation. The question on everyone's mind was, what was really going on? Who was telling the truth, and who was trying to manipulate the situation for their own gain? The fallout from Rasheeda's claim was only just beginning, and there was no telling where this story would end. Each new twist and turn made the situation even more dramatic, and fans were eagerly awaiting the next piece of the puzzle. Would Mendeecees finally come clean? Would Yandy and Rasheeda go head-to-head? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain. The drama was far from over, and the world was watching every move. As the days passed, the drama surrounding Rasheeda's shocking claim about spending the night with Mendeecees only intensified. Social media was buzzing with heated debates, and every new post or comment seemed to fuel the fire even more. Fans couldn't stop talking about it, and it wasn't just the fans. Other cast members from Love and Hip Hop started to get involved as well, each offering their own opinions and speculations. The tension in the air was thick, and it was clear that this situation wasn't just going to blow over. It was becoming a full-blown spectacle. Yandy, still reeling from the shock of Rasheeda's claim, began to take matters into her own hands. She was determined to get to the bottom of this, but the more she dug, the more confusing things became. She reached out to Mendeecees, trying to get a straight answer from him, but his responses remained vague and distant. "We'll talk when the time is right," he told her during a phone call, leaving Yandy frustrated and feeling more isolated than ever. The longer he stayed silent, the more it seemed like there was something to hide. She couldn't shake the feeling that he was avoiding her, and it only deepened the rift between them. Yandy's emotions were all over the place. She was hurt, confused, and angry all at once. How could Mendeecees allow such a scandal to unfold without addressing it directly? She had always been there for him, standing by his side through thick and thin, but now it felt like he was shutting her out when she needed him most. The pressure was mounting on both of them, and it seemed like their relationship was hanging by a thread. Yandy couldn't focus on anything else. Her thoughts were consumed by the drama, and her emotions were completely intertwined with the scandal. On the other hand, Mendeecees continued to be evasive. The more Rasheeda's claim was discussed, the more Mendeecees retreated into silence. His social media posts became increasingly cryptic, and fans were left to interpret his words however they saw fit. Sometimes the truth is harder than the lies, he wrote one evening, sending fans into a frenzy. Was he admitting to the affair with Rasheeda? Or was he simply trying to confuse everyone with his vague statements? No one knew for sure, but the ambiguity of his posts only made the situation more intense. As the drama unfolded, the public was quick to take sides. Some fans supported Rasheeda, believing her version of events and accusing Mendeecees of lying or hiding the truth. They pointed to his silence as a sign of guilt, claiming that if he truly had nothing to hide, he would have denied Rasheeda's claim right away. Mendeecees is shady, one fan wrote. If he really cared about Yandy, he'd shut this down. But instead, he's letting it drag on. Others were quick to call out Rasheeda, accusing her of stirring up drama for attention. Rasheeda is just looking for her 15 minutes of fame, one comment read. She's trying to get people talking about her, and this is just a cheap way of doing it. The argument between the fans was growing more heated by the hour. It seemed like every new development only added fuel to the fire. And just when things couldn't get any more chaotic, a new twist emerged, a leaked video. The footage, which appeared to show Mendeecees and Rasheeda together at a hotel, quickly made its way to social media. In the video, the two were seen laughing and chatting, clearly comfortable in each other's company. The video was short, but it was enough to send the rumor mill into overdrive. The video immediately went viral. Fans dissected every frame, analyzing every detail, searching for signs of something more. Was this video proof that Rasheeda's claim was true? Or was it just a harmless clip of two friends hanging out? The video only deepened the mystery, and it seemed like everyone had an opinion on it. Some fans argued that the video didn't prove anything. It could have been taken months ago, long before Rasheeda made her claim. Others pointed out that the chemistry between Mendeecees and Rasheeda in the video was undeniable, and it seemed like more than just friendship. Yandy, of course, was beside herself when she saw the video. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. If the video was real, then it seemed like Rasheeda's claim had some truth to it after all. But Yandy refused to jump to conclusions. She was determined to get the full story before making any decisions. She reached out to Mendeecees once again, demanding an explanation. But once again, he deflected her questions, offering no clear answers. "We'll talk about it when the time is right," he said, his tone cold and distant. As Mendeecees remained tight-lipped, the drama continued to escalate. Fans began to question the authenticity of the video. Some claimed that it had been doctored, that it was all part of a larger scheme to manipulate the public. Others speculated that Mendeecees and Rasheeda had been involved in a secret relationship for months, and this was just the tip of the iceberg. The idea that Mendeecees and Rasheeda had been hiding something from everyone only added to the intrigue. Was this an affair, or was it just a case of two people caught up in a situation that spiraled out of control? Meanwhile, the rest of the Love and Hip Hop cast was feeling the heat. Some members took sides, offering their own opinions on the scandal, while others stayed quiet, not wanting to get caught up in the drama. But everyone had an opinion, and it wasn't long before the situation became the hottest topic in the reality TV world. News outlets picked up the story, and soon the entire world was talking about the love triangle that had suddenly come to light. Behind the scenes, the Love and Hip Hop producers were scrambling to manage the fallout. They knew that this drama had the potential to bring in big ratings, but it was also threatening to tear apart the relationships of the show's biggest stars. Would Mendeecees and Yandy be able to survive this scandal, or would it be the end of their marriage? And what role would Rasheeda play in all of this? one thing was certain. The drama was far from over, and it was only going to get crazier from here. As the situation continued to unfold, more details began to emerge. Rumors about Mendeecees' past, his relationships with other women, and even his involvement in shady business deals started to surface. It was clear that this scandal was going to affect not just Mendeecees and Yandy, but everyone involved in the love and hip-hop franchise. The truth about what happened between Mendeecees and Rasheeda was still a mystery, and fans were eager to know more. Would there be more videos, more shocking revelations? Only time would tell. But for now, one thing was certain. The drama was only getting started, and it was about to hit a whole new level. As the situation continued to spiral out of control, the emotional toll on everyone involved began to show. Yandy, who had once been so confident and in control, now found herself questioning everything. The trust she had built with Mendeecees over the years seemed to be crumbling before her eyes. She couldn't understand why he wouldn't come clean, why he was allowing this drama to unfold without taking responsibility. Every time she reached out to him, he became more distant, his answers more evasive. She began to wonder if this was a sign that their relationship had always been built on shaky ground. The constant rumors, the gossip, and the accusations were taking a toll on Yandy's mental and emotional health. She spent sleepless nights tossing and turning, wondering what the future held for her and Mendeecees. Every time she scrolled through social media, she saw new posts from fans, each one more vicious than the last. Some people believed in her, others turned against her, and it felt like everyone had an opinion on her personal life. She couldn't escape the noise, and it was eating away at her. The strain was becoming evident in her day-to-day life. She had been a rock for so many people in the past, but now she felt lost. She couldn't focus on her career, her family, or anything else. Every thought was consumed by the scandal. She even found herself withdrawing from her friends, not knowing who she could trust anymore. The one person who should have been by her side, Mendeecees, was the one person who seemed the most distant. Meanwhile, Mendeecees was dealing with the fallout in his own way. His silence was his defense mechanism, but it was backfiring. Every time he refused to address the situation, fans grew more suspicious, and the media began to pick up on his lack of transparency. He tried to focus on his work and keep a low profile, but it was impossible to escape the growing pressure. No matter where he went, the whispers followed. The once celebrated reality star was now at the center of one of the most talked about scandals in the industry. To make matters worse, Mendeecees' past began to resurface. Fans and tabloids dug into his history, uncovering old rumors and scandals that had long been buried. Some of these rumors were about his relationships with other women, others about his business dealings. It seemed like everyone was out for blood, eager to tear down the image he had carefully built. Mendeecees had always prided himself on being a family man, a man who had changed his life for the better, but now it seemed like all of that was unraveling. The more he tried to stay quiet, the more the past came back to haunt him. As the drama intensified, a new player entered the picture. Rasheeda's husband, Kirk Frost. Kirk, who had always been a supporting character in the love and hip-hop universe, now found himself caught in the crossfire. Kirk had his own issues with Mendeecees, and the tension between them had always been simmering just below the surface. But now, with Rasheeda's claims making waves, Kirk's frustration boiled over. He couldn't stand seeing his wife being dragged into this mess, and he wasn't about to let Mendeecees get away with whatever was happening behind the scenes. In an exclusive interview with a popular blog, Kirk didn't hold back. He openly accused Mendeecees of being dishonest and disrespectful to his wife. "Rasheeda is a queen, and no one is going to disrespect her like that," Kirk said, his voice full of anger. "Mendeecees has always been shady, and now he's playing games with my family." Kirk's words only added more fuel to the fire. Fans were now divided not just between Yandy and Rasheeda, but also between Kirk and Mendeecees. The drama between the men was now just as intense as the drama between the women, and it seemed like there was no way out for anyone involved. As Kirk's comments spread across social media, fans began to take sides. Some sided with Kirk, claiming that Mendeecees was a liar and a manipulator who had been causing trouble for far too long. Others defended Mendeecees, arguing that Kirk was just trying to stir up drama for attention. Kirk is just mad because his wife is involved in the scandal, one fan wrote. He's trying to make himself relevant again by trashing Mendeecees. The rivalry between the two men reached a boiling point, and it was clear that things were about to get much worse. The situation escalated when Kirk posted a cryptic message on his Instagram story, hinting at a confrontation with Mendeecees. "Some things are better settled face to face," Kirk wrote, along with an image of a fist. Fans were quick to interpret the message as a threat, and soon rumors began to swirl about a potential showdown between the two men. The media couldn't resist the temptation to fuel the fire, and outlets began reporting on the possibility of a physical altercation between Kirk and Mendeecees. Love and hip-hop feud heats up. One headline read, "Will Kirk and Mendeecees come to blows?" It was clear that the situation was spiraling out of control. Meanwhile, Rasheeda's claim continued to haunt the cast of Love and Hip Hop. With every new twist, the story became more complicated. Fans were no longer just following a simple love triangle. They were watching a full-fledged scandal unfold in real time. The drama between Mendeecees, Yandy, and Rasheeda had now taken on a life of its own, and it was becoming impossible to predict how it would all end. But one thing was certain. The consequences of this scandal would be felt by everyone involved, both on and off the screen. Love and Hip Hop was no longer just a reality show. It had become a battleground for personal vendettas, hurt feelings, and public accusations. Fans were hooked, and the cast was trapped in a never-ending cycle of speculation, drama, and betrayal. What started as a single claim had now become a full-blown reality TV saga, and it seemed like there was no way out. As the story continued to unfold, the question on everyone's mind was, would this scandal destroy the relationships of the Love and hip-hop stars, or would they be able to survive the chaos? Only time would tell, but for now, the drama was far from over. The tension between Mendeecees, Yandy, and Rasheeda was at an all-time high, and every move they made was under the microscope. Whatever happened next, it was clear that this story wasn't going to end quietly. The intensity of the situation reached a fever pitch when Mendeecees made a surprising move. He finally broke his silence. After days of being bombarded with questions, accusations, and rumors, he decided to go live on Instagram to address the chaos once and for all. His decision to speak out was a calculated one. He knew that the longer he stayed quiet, the more the rumors would spiral out of control. But what he didn't expect was the backlash that would follow. As soon as he went live, the comments section exploded, filled with angry fans, skeptical supporters, and those demanding answers. "I've been quiet long enough," Mendeecees began, his voice steady but laced with frustration. "But enough is enough. I need to set the record straight." The tension was palpable as fans leaned in, waiting for him to drop the bombshell. "What y'all don't know is that the story y'all are hearing about me and Rasheeda is twisted. It's fake," he continued. "You'll know me. I don't get involved in mess like this. But people want to spread lies and cause drama." He paused for a moment, as if gathering his thoughts, before he added, "The truth is, nothing happened between me and Rasheeda. Nothing at all." The statement left fans reeling. Mendeecees had just flat out denied Rasheeda's claim, and his words carried weight. But the problem was that no one seemed to believe him. Many fans took to social media to call out his denial, claiming that it was just another attempt to cover up the truth. "Mendeecees is lying," one comment read. "We all saw the chemistry between him and Rasheeda on the show. Now he's trying to save face." The debate over whether or not Mendeecees was telling the truth only fueled the drama further, as fans from both sides of the argument dug in their heels. While Mendeecees tried to maintain his composure, the pressure was clearly starting to get to him. He was used to being in the spotlight, but this level of scrutiny was something he had never faced before. The drama wasn't just affecting his career, it was destroying his personal life. Yandy, who had been watching the live stream from her phone, felt a mix of emotions. Part of her wanted to believe him, but another part of her was growing more and more suspicious. The distance between them had only grown since the allegations came to light, and she couldn't ignore the nagging feeling that something wasn't adding up. She had already been through so much with him, and now it felt like he was hiding something. The live stream continued for another few minutes, with Mendeecees repeatedly denying the accusations and insisting that he was innocent. He claimed that he had nothing to do with Rasheeda's drama and that he was simply a victim of false rumors. But as he spoke, it became increasingly clear that he was more defensive than he had been in the past. His usual charm was replaced with a sense of agitation, and it was hard to ignore the underlying tension in his words. It was almost as if he was trying to convince not just the fans, but himself as well. Meanwhile, Rasheeda's response came quickly. After seeing Mendeecees' live stream, she wasted no time in addressing his denial. In a series of posts on her Instagram story, she made it clear that she wasn't backing down. "I told the truth," she wrote, her words sharp and full of anger. "Mendeecees and I spent the night together, and there's no way I'm gonna let him lie about it. I'll think I'm out here making things up for attention. Nah, I'm not that type of woman. I'm speaking the truth." She added more posts, sharing her side of the story in greater detail, painting herself as the victim of Mendeecees' manipulation and deceit. "He wants to pretend like it never happened, but I'm not gonna let him sweep it under the rug," Rasheeda continued. "The truth always comes out, and now it's time for y'all to see who he really is." Her followers quickly rallied behind her, some praising her for her bravery and others condemning Mendeecees for his alleged actions. The public war of words between them was now in full swing, and fans couldn't get enough. Every post, every comment, every piece of new information fueled the fire. No one knew what to believe, and the uncertainty was becoming overwhelming. As the drama between Mendeecees and Rasheeda escalated, Yandy found herself in the middle of it all. Her emotions were running high as she tried to make sense of everything. She wanted to believe Mendeecees, but part of her couldn't shake the feeling that he was hiding something from her. She couldn't ignore the possibility that he was lying, especially with the way he was acting. Every time they spoke, it felt like he was holding back, keeping her at arm's length. Their relationship, once so solid, was now hanging by a thread. But Yandy wasn't the only one who had doubts. Kirk, who had been quietly watching from the sidelines, couldn't resist weighing in once again. In an interview with a gossip blog, he took another jab at Mendeecees, accusing him of being a liar and a manipulator. "Mendeecees is a fraud," Kirk said. "He's been lying to Yandy for years, and now he's just trying to cover his tracks. I'm not gonna let him get away with it." Kirk's comments only added fuel to the fire, further intensifying the drama between the two men. Fans were divided once again, with some supporting Kirk's accusations and others defending Mendeecees. The entire situation was becoming a full-blown media circus. Every day brought new revelations, new twists, and new public feuds. Fans couldn't get enough of the drama, and the cast of Love and Hip Hop was caught in a never-ending cycle of speculation and controversy. But as the drama continued to unfold, the question remained: who was telling the truth? Would Mendeecees be able to clear his name, or would the truth about his relationship with Rasheeda eventually come to light? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain: the fallout from this scandal would be felt for a long time to come. As Yandy, Mendeecees, and Rasheeda continued to navigate the fallout from the explosive accusations, the world was watching. The Love and Hip Hop universe had been forever changed by this scandal, and it seemed like nothing would ever be the same again. The once glamorous world of reality TV had been replaced by a messy, tangled web of lies, betrayal, and heartache. The cast was no longer just playing characters. They were living out their own real-life drama, and the stakes were higher than ever before. And as the drama raged on, fans couldn't help but wonder how it would all end. The fallout from Mendeecees and Rasheeda's shocking claims continued to spiral out of control as the weeks went by. The once close-knit Love and Hip Hop cast found themselves torn apart by betrayal, lies, and accusations. Fans had grown obsessed with every new development, hanging on to every word that came from Mendeecees, Rasheeda, and Yandy. It seemed like there was no end in sight for this toxic drama. As time passed, it became clear that the public's attention was shifting. The initial shock of Rasheeda's claim that she had spent the night with Mendeecees had started to wear off, but the drama was far from over. The more the three of them tried to deny and explain, the more convoluted and confusing the situation became. It was almost like a train wreck. No matter how much people wanted to look away, they just couldn't. It was too gripping, too raw, and too sensational to ignore. Yandy had been through the emotional ringer. She had spent sleepless nights contemplating the lies she had been told. Her trust in Mendeecees had been shattered, but she still held out hope that there was some part of him that wasn't capable of the betrayal everyone was accusing him of. The couple's once solid relationship was now fractured, and she found herself seeking comfort from her closest friends. It was no secret that Yandy's inner circle had begun to question Mendeecees' loyalty, and they weren't afraid to voice their concerns. Many advised her to walk away, to let go of someone who could so easily lie to her. Yet Yandy struggled to reconcile the man she loved with the accusations swirling around him. She had been with Mendeecees through thick and thin, and despite everything, her heart wasn't ready to let him go. But the pressure was mounting. As Yandy went about her daily life, she couldn't help but notice the growing distance between them. Mendeecees' refusal to truly open up and explain what had happened was driving a wedge between them. His silence spoke volumes, and as much as she wanted to believe he was innocent, his lack of transparency made it nearly impossible to do so. Every conversation they had now felt forced, filled with tension and distrust. Yandy couldn't shake the feeling that Mendeecees was hiding something bigger than she could imagine. His deflections and evasions only made her feel more isolated. For Mendeecees, the situation was equally complicated. He had done everything he could to keep his name clean, but the media storm was relentless. Every interview, every post, every statement was scrutinized to the point of exhaustion. He felt like he was drowning in a sea of accusations, unable to get out of the mess that had spiraled out of control. Part of him knew that he could have been more open with Yandy from the start, but he had tried to protect her from the ugliness of it all. Now that decision was coming back to haunt him. The more he tried to explain himself, the more the media and fans seemed to turn on him. It felt like no matter what he said, it was never enough. And then came the bombshell, an unexpected twist that no one saw coming. A mysterious video surfaced online, showing Mendeecees and Rasheeda in what appeared to be an intimate conversation, laughing and joking together late at night. The footage was grainy, and the context was unclear, but the implications were huge. Fans immediately jumped to conclusions, interpreting the video as proof that Mendeecees and Rasheeda's night together had indeed been more than just innocent. The video reignited the flame of speculation, and fans took to social media in a frenzy, demanding answers from both Mendeecees and Rasheeda. Once again, the public was divided. Some believed it was just a friendly exchange, while others saw it as further evidence of the affair. The drama was now reaching its peak, and the lines between truth and fiction were becoming increasingly blurred. With the pressure mounting, Mendeecees finally made another public statement. He took to Instagram once again, but this time, his demeanor was different. He seemed weary, tired of the ongoing battle to clear his name. "I know y'all are waiting for me to explain myself, but let me be clear," he began, his voice shaky. "I never had an affair with Rasheeda. That video you saw, it's not what you think. It was a misunderstanding, nothing more. We've been friends for a long time, and we were just talking, like we always do. The rumors, they've taken on a life of their own, and I can't keep fighting them. I love my wife, Yandy, and I will do anything to fix this." His words were met with mixed reactions. Some fans believed him, feeling sympathy for his predicament, while others were unconvinced. They pointed to the video and the fact that he had never fully addressed the rumors about the night he spent with Rasheeda. It seemed like no matter what Mendeecees said, the drama would never fully die down. Rasheeda, on the other hand, remained unyielding. She stood firm in her claims, continuing to share her side of the story with the world. "Mendeecees wants to make it seem like I'm lying, but I'm not. I've been honest from the start," she declared in a candid interview with a tabloid magazine. "Y'all can believe what you want. But the truth is, we spent the night together. And it's not just about one night. It's about everything that happened leading up to it. Don't let him fool you. Her words only deepened the divide, and her fans rallied around her, demanding justice. With no resolution in sight, the entire situation continued to unravel. Yandy found herself at a crossroads, unsure of what to believe or who to trust. Her heart told her one thing, but the harsh reality of the situation kept pulling her in the opposite direction. She had loved Mendeecees with all her heart, but now the very foundation of their relationship was crumbling beneath her feet. The more she thought about the claims, the more she wondered if she could ever truly trust him again. As the drama between Mendeecees, Rasheeda, and Yandy reached new heights, fans were left with more questions than answers. Who was telling the truth? Could Mendeecees and Yandy ever repair their broken relationship? Would Rasheeda ever stop accusing Mendeecees of lying? And most importantly, who would come out on top in the end? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain: the fallout from this scandal would leave a lasting mark on all of them, and the world of love and hip-hop would never be the same again. The entire cast had been thrust into a whirlwind of drama, and while the fans were captivated by the spectacle, it was clear that the real lives behind the headlines were forever changed. For Mendeecees, Yandy, and Rasheeda, the drama was no longer just a storyline, it was their reality. And as they all struggled to find their way through the mess they had created, they had no choice but to face the consequences of their actions and hope that, somehow, they could rebuild what had been broken. As the shocking claims of Rasheeda spending the night with Mendeecees continue to make waves, we're left with more questions than answers. The drama between Mendeecees, Rasheeda, and Yandy has captivated the entire love and hip-hop fan base, and it seems like there's no end in sight. So, what do you think? Is Rasheeda telling the truth, or is Mendeecees just caught up in a web of lies? Could Yandy ever forgive him after everything that's happened? Or will this scandal ultimately tear their family apart for good? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us know where you stand. Do you believe Rasheeda's side of the story, or do you think Mendeecees is innocent? Is Yandy's trust in him completely shattered, or can they still salvage their relationship? There's so much drama unfolding, and we're sure you have a lot to say about it. Don't hold back. Let's get the conversation going. If you're just as hooked on this drama as we are, be sure to hit that like button and show your support. We've got plenty more juicy gossip, shocking revelations, and reality TV drama coming your way, and we don't want you to miss a single moment. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when new updates drop. This story is far from over, and we'll be here every step of the way, bringing you all the latest. So stay tuned, stay engaged, and as always, thanks for watching. We can't wait to hear your opinions on this crazy situation.